What's going on, everyone? Ronan here, and welcome back to the channel. We got a lot to cover today because this is the final gym battle for the Johto region for our Indigo champion. But before we get into that, we got a couple of things to do. First is the shout out. This one's going to be for John Larson. Thank you very much for the support, and you guys already know the drill. Take a look at this analytical stat bar right here. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, drop a like, and drop a comment to help fuel the algorithm. But with all that being said, let's get into part 14, season 2 of What If Indigo Champion Ash challenged the Johto League. I hope you enjoy. We begin today's part with Ash and Vincent as they arrive back at the Blackthorn gym. This is Ash's final leg of the gym challenge in Johto, and he cannot be more excited. Vincent asks if Ash is ready, to which the champion responds he is. He even made a call to Professor Oak to swap out one of his Pokemon for this battle, as he knows the Dragon type is tricky to deal with. You're telling me, Vincent says, as his entire battle with Claire the previous day had him believing that he didn't have a chance to win at all. It was merely by the skin of his teeth that he was able to clutch a victory. However, for Ash, it's different. His whole aura is different, Vincent notices. Whenever it comes to gym badges and gym battles, Ash is always the calmest person he knows. And the fact that he had made a call to Professor Oak means that he must be really confident in the Pokemon he has. He must have some of his championship level Pokemon that are going to be entering this battle. But Vincent's inner monologue is going to have to come to an end as Ash is pushing on the doors of the gym, announcing his arrival to everyone inside. However, to the surprise of our champion, the gym battlefield is already in use, but it's not Claire and an opponent. It's actually Lance and Drake, as their two Dragonites are clashing at each other, trying to establish dominance to see who is superior. Lance and Vincent watch in awe as the two masters of the Dragonite clash. However, this isn't going to last forever, as the elder of the Dragon clan has noticed Ash's arrival, signaling Claire, to which the young gym leader announces that the battle will have to be postponed, as her scheduled gym battle is about to start. Although disappointing, both Lance and Drake understand, as they want another chance to see what Ash can do. They're quite curious to the Pokemon that he's brought to battle a Dragon-type master like Claire. After all, she is the strongest gym leader in the entire Johto region. As Lance and Drake call back their respective Dragon-type Pokemon, Claire approaches Ash, asking if he's ready to start their gym battle, to which Ash smiles. "I have never been more ready, Claire. Please lead the way." Claire admires Ash's tenacity, telling our hero to follow her. A mere moments later, Ash and Claire stand across from each other on opposite ends of the gym, while Vincent, Drake, and the Elder have all taken seats inside of the stands, as Lance has opted to be the referee for this match. The announcement is given that this will be a 3-on-3 with no substitution on Claire's part. However, Ash will be allowed substitutions, and the battle will be over when one side's Pokemon are unable to battle. With the declaration of the rules out of the way, Claire wastes no time in sending in her first Pokemon. Drudagon, go! A green and orange dragon emerges from its Pokeball, to which Ash has never seen before. Using his Pokedex, Ash finds out that this is a dragon type from the far-off region of Unova. "So Ash, are you ready for a challenge?" Claire says with a smile on her face. Smiling back, Ash declares he wouldn't be here if he wasn't. "Now, Gliscor, I choose you!" The Fang Scorpion emerges from its Pokeball, landing on the tip of its tail, presenting itself ready for battle. "Ah, so Ash caught a Gliscor," Lance monologues to himself, wondering about the boy's choice for this particular matchup. However, he's not the only one that's inner monologuing, as Vincent is beginning to panic inside, as Ash had told him that he had made a call to Professor Oak for some of his older Pokemon. Vincent was expecting some of his championship team, maybe Rhydon or Snorlax or something like that. But no, he's using something he caught in Johto, which Vincent isn't quite sure is the right choice. However, he's going to have to trust the decision and experience of Ash, as it has been made clear that he is a far better trainer than what Vincent currently is. And that's demonstrated when Ash responds to the first command of Claire that's given, a Dragon Claw. His counter is something simple yet effective. Sandstorm. A cloud of dust blankets the battlefield, preventing the Dragon Claw from landing, as Gliscor's ability, Sand Veil, has taken effect. With this free opening, Ash is quick to use it as he calls for a neck scissor that bursts from within the cloud of dust, connecting with the Dragon type for a decent amount of damage, considering Gliscor was really close to it. However, Claire is no fool, and she tells Drudagon to stay still, wait for the Fang Scorpion to come to it. While Sandstorm normally chips away at health of any Pokemon that's not a ground, steel, or rock type, it's proven that Drudagon is a special breed, as even though it may be losing some health, it doesn't appear to be affected by the Sandstorm, merely just waiting patiently for the time to strike. Patience is key here for the Dragon type, as Ash is using the stillness of their opponent to fire off multiple X-Scissors from within the cloud. While this is effective, Ash knows that he needs to cause a greater amount of damage if he hopes to drop the dragon, so he orders Gliscor in with a Steel Wing. However, this is the opening that Drudagon was waiting patiently for, as at the command of its trainer, Drudagon clamps down on Gliscor's tail with a crunch, preventing the flying Scorpion from being able to get away. This proves to be problematic problematic for both Gliscor and Ash, as they have nowhere to go, with Gliscor just merely waving in the wind of the sandstorm, as it's unable to get any control on its gliding capabilities with its tail being held down. Now in a more favorable position, Claire finds this to be an easy wrap-up as she calls for an Aqua Tail from Drudagon. Now glowing in an aqua hue, the dragon drops its tail on Gliscor, causing super effective damage and forcing Drudagon to eject it from its vice-like jaws. While Gliscor may be free, there is a problem, as its main point of attack, using its tail as a springboard, is now hindered due to the efforts of Drudagon and Claire. However, this isn't a problem for Ash, as now that Gliscor is free, it can use the winds of the sandstorm to its advantage, as at the command of its trainer, it spreads its parasol wings and takes flight back into the clouds. However, we won't have to wait long until we see Gliscor make its next move, as Ash is aiming to end this in one final strike, commanding for a guillotine. The gliding ground type bolts from the safety of its dust cloud, aiming to wrap its pincers around the neck of Drudagon. However, this is something that Claire will not allow, as she orders Drudagon to use its most powerful technique, a superpower. The Emerald Dragon swells with life energy as it connects with the pincers of Gliscor, crushing one of them in the process. However, due to some last minute thinking on Ash's part, Gliscor is able to use its increased evasion to dodge the second superpowered punch and swiftly hide back into the dust. It is at this point that the sandstorm starts to die, revealing where Gliscor is, barely able to hold on in the air due to its injuries that it sustained to both its pincer and its tail. Knowing that this matchup is no longer in his favor, Ash makes a decision to recall the Fang Scorpion Pokemon for the time being. However, we're not going to have to wait long as Ash makes his declaration for a second Pokemon. Ursaring, I choose you! The lazy brawler emerges from its ball, half asleep, a bit annoyed that it's being called on by Ash. However, it quickly sees the reason why Ash has chosen it for the battle, so it decides to take this a little bit serious for the time being, considering this dragon type that stands across from it doesn't look like it's something that's going to be an easy pushover. With the start of this next round, Ash keeps things simple, calling for a double team from Ursaring to dodge a Dragon Claw that was thrown at the bear by Drudagon. Ash is glad he did this, as it reveals that Drudagon is starting to tire, as the slowness of its technique and execution is starting to be revealed. So, the boy decides that it's time for him to challenge the power of this Drudagon by ordering Ursaring to use a Focus Punch. The bear decides to engage the dragon type in a head-to-head brawl as it charges both of its fists. In retaliation, Claire holds nothing back, ordering Drudagon to do the same with its Dragon Claws. What follows is a set of blows that at the beginning appeared to be even. However, things quickly take a turn for the worst for Claire and her dragon type, as what Ash thought is quickly becoming more apparent, as it's unable to keep up with the raw power of Ursaring due to all the damage that it took in the battle with Gliscor, and this results in Ursaring finally being able to push through one of the Dragon Claws, connecting with the Focus Punch to the head of the dragon type and knocking it out cold, giving Ash the first win of this gym battle. Claire recalls the dragon type commending Ash on his ability to push through its raw power. Not many people have been able to do that in the past, and your Ursaring has demonstrated its ability to brawl like no other. Ash appreciates the compliment, considering he hasn't used Ursaring in a while, it's still as strong as ever. However, he tells the bear that they can't give up now, as it's going to be his choice for the next altercation, and this is where Claire reveals her second dragon type, as she declares, Kingdra, it's your time to battle. The battle quickly begins with Claire making a call for a Hydro Pump. However, Ash orders Ursaring to push through this with a slash attack. The bear is able to do so as it makes its way into the pool, raking its claws across the belly of Kingdra, causing it to screech in pain. However, this was well worth the risk, as now Ursaring is in the element of Kingdra, and it's proven so when Claire capitalizes on this, calling for a Dragon Pulse, to which the bear has no defense for and is forced to take head on. This is enough to blast Ursaring from the water back onto the dry battlefield. However, this is where Ash has a revelation. Maybe Ursaring is exactly where he needed it to be, in the water, or at least close to it. As the normal type stands back up, shaking off the cobwebs from that Dragonic attack, Ash orders Ursaring back into the water. However, Ursaring meets this with a look of irritation that shot Ash's way, as it begins to make its way back to the pool. But just before it enters, Kingdra decides to retaliate with a swift attack that ends up connecting with the bear, preventing it from actually entering the pool. However, Ash isn't going to let this delay him, as he orders Ursaring to use its trump card, a Thunder Punch. Ash tells it to punch the wet ground around it, to which Ursaring does so. While, in theory, this is a solid idea due to the water being able to conduct electricity, this is actually a double-edged sword, as not only does Kingdra lit up with the electricity from the Thunder Punch, but because Ursaring was standing in a pool of water, it too catches the effects. And boy, is it going to feel it because it's at the epicenter of the attack, as it is now stricken with the paralysis. Claire sees this and plans to take full advantage of the situation, as she orders Kingdra to fire another Hydro Pump. Ash sees this coming, and he orders Ursaring to counter with another double team. However, the bear is slow to move, taking part of the Hydro Pump before fading out of the way, allowing it to disperse. This is where Ash starts to feel confident, as even though Ursaring has been paralyzed, its evasion can keep increasing, which gives him a chance to stave off the attacks from Kingdra. However, this advantage is not one that Ash has thought the whole way through, as Kingdra still has one move that doesn't really care about accuracy, and that's Swift, to which Claire calls for again that connects with the bear, causing some more damage to it. Things are beginning to reach the end of this battle, and Claire can see that Ursaring is starting to tire just like Drudagon did, so she plans to use this to her advantage by turning on the pressure with another Dragon Pulse. Realizing that they may be out of options, Ash decides that he's going to have to do this the best way that Ursaring possibly can, straight through, as he orders the normal type to use another set of slash attacks to break away at the Dragon Pulse. This once again finds it in the pool with Kingdra. However, Claire figured this might happen, so she plans to retaliate with the Hydro Pump. However, this is exactly what Ash wanted, as he realized that there was no true way to actually win this battle. So if he can't win, he can at least make it so he doesn't lose, as one thing about Ursaring has yet to be revealed, and that's the fact that its ability Guts has been activated ever since it took on the paralysis. And when Kingdra tries to execute the Hydro Pump, Ash orders Ursaring to retaliate with another Thunder Punch, except this time drive it into the Hydro Pump. Doing this, the Thunder Punch has a direct line of current straight to Kingdra that then feeds through the Dragon type into the pool of water that shocks Ursaring as well. Both trainers can do nothing but watch their Pokemon surface with spirals in their eyes, as this is a double knockout. Recalling her second choice, Claire commends Ash on his ability to use the water to his advantage like that. She didn't think any Pokemon would be willing to risk themselves like that. However, Ash simply responds that Ursaring knew the task, and it was willing to push through if that meant victory. Unfortunately, it was unable to withstand the charge of the second attack. However, it did put us one step closer to ending this battle. While Ash recalls Ursaring, Vincent is still trying to figure out exactly when did he catch it. He never knew that Ash had an Ursaring or it was as strong as this. However, all these questions are going to have to wait, as the combatants for the next battle are chosen, as Ash declares, "Gliscor, I choose you," while Claire makes a simple call, declaring, "Dragonair, your time to shine." Both Pokemon hit the field, although it's clear that Gliscor is the worse off of the two, as Dragonair is still fresh and ready to take victory in this battle. And it's going to be a quick one too, as Ash tells Gliscor to try and gain some height. However, the Flying Scorpion is unable to do so with the injury that it sustained to his tail, and falls victim to one really quick Iron Tail from Dragonair, bringing this battle to one of the quickest closes that Ash has ever seen. Ash recalls Gliscor, thanking it for all of the effort that it put in. He now stands there silent, holding a Pokeball in his hand, staring at both Dragonair and Claire. His final choice for the final gym of the region has to be the way he started the region. "Charizard, I choose you!" The fire lizard emerges from its ball with a burst of a flamethrower, signaling that it's ready to establish dominance in this battle. Claire is intrigued by this, as she didn't know that this Charizard had belonged to Ash over the many times that it had visited Blackthorn City with Liza, so she's fully aware of what it's capable of and its strengths. However, what she doesn't know is what it's capable of when it's being wielded by the trainer that it's bonded with. However, she's not going to have to wait long, as the flags are given for the start of the battle by Lance, to which Ash immediately begins with the flamethrower. However, Claire has a quick counter to this, ordering Dragonair to dive into the pool of water so that way it can avoid any damage from the fire type attack. This is a simple yet effective method at protecting itself, and it's going to make this gym badge that much tougher for Ash to earn. However, that's not going to deter Ash, as he has one simple fix for this, as the simple logic of an 11-year-old boy has kicked in. If he can't hit it through the water, then they need to get rid of the water, to which Ash orders a flamethrower, telling Charizard to aim it at the pool and do not let up. For a moment, Claire is baffled by the order that is given, as it's not going to work. The flamethrower will have no effect on Dragonair as long as it remains underwater, and it can stay there as long as it's needed. However, as steam starts to rise and the water level is reduced, Claire begins to realize just how faulty her plan was, as Ash's plan is finally unveiled due to all the water evaporating from the pool due to the flamethrower. However, Charizard has not stopped with its attack, as now that the water is gone, Ash orders it to turn on the heat. Charizard does so, increasing the power of its fire, turning the once water pool into a smoldering crater, as Dragonair is enveloped by flames, forcing it to head skybound to avoid any major damage. Not wanting it to get away, Ash orders Charizard into the air so it can take flight and capture its prey. Unfortunately, Charizard's size is its downfall at this point, considering it can't even catch Dragonair once it is taken to the air. However, Ash knows that they don't have to just physically connect with Dragonair, as he orders another flamethrower from his Fire Lizard, to which Claire orders Dragonair to counter with a Twister. The Dragon Maelstrom is able to catch the flamethrower, turning it into a fire tornado that dissipates in front of Dragonair, leaving both Ash and Charizard considering their next move. Claire's mastery of dragon types is evident with the way she's demonstrated them in this battle. However, that's not going to deter Ash, as he and Charizard intend to take home this final badge. With another command of a flamethrower, the Fire Lizard spits another molten ball of fire at the dragon type, to which Claire simply calls for another Twister in order to counter it in the same way that she did before. However, she uses this to her advantage as she orders Dragonair to follow up with the Hyper Beam, as Ash and Charizard were waiting for the fire tornado to dissipate. This catches them both off guard as Charizard is hit with a superpowered blast, forcing it into a tailspin as it heads towards the ground, allowing Dragonair the time to recover that it needs, while Charizard is unable to retaliate. However, things quickly change when the cries from Ash are able to get through to it, and it's able to come to its senses, pulling up right before it smacks into the ground. Knowing they have to be careful with their long-range attacks, Ash orders Charizard back into the air. They're going to have to get a little bit more intimate with Dragonair as he calls for a Metal Claw. Charizard darts as fast as it can as Dragonair is beginning to finish up its rest cycle from the Hyper Beam. Charging the Steel-type attack, Charizard slashes at Dragonair in order to attempt to hit it. However, the Dragon-type simply counters with an Iron Tail, to which you can hear a metal ping as the two attacks connect with each other. Claire is feeling confident she won that exchange. However, things turn south when she realizes that Charizard didn't just connect with the Iron Tail, but it actually grabbed it while it was using Metaclaw to mitigate the damage it would have taken, and now it's holding Dragonair, and the Dragon-type is unable to escape. This is where Ash calls for another Flamethrower. The way he figures it, at this close of range, there's no way Twister would be effective at blocking the attack. However, he's quickly mistaken when Dragonair does launch another one at the command of Claire, and the consequence of launching an attack that powerful so close to himself become apparent, as now Charizard and Dragonair are locked in the Dragon-type attack. The Maelstrom begins to chip away at Charizard's health, slowly causing a great amount of damage. However, Ash tells Charizard that they need to stay strong, use another flamethrower, and feed it into the Twister. Doing so, the Fire Lizard shows its tenacity just like its trainer, as they transform the Dragon-type attack into another fire tornado that engulfs both of them. This has now become a battle of fire and dragonic energy, and we're going to see just who's stubborn enough to take it all. Unable to see Dragonair, Claire calls for a Hyper Beam in hopes of breaking any type of hold that Charizard may still have on it. However, the Dragon-type is unable to respond due to the sheer heat that it's being faced down with. However, Charizard, on the other hand, is ready for its trainer's command, as Ash orders it to use a Seismic Toss. In this moment, the fire tornado that looked like it was beginning to slow down rapidly speeds up as Charizard now has a hold of Dragonair and is spinning in a circle, flying ever so faster, building up the speed it needs to complete its ultimate attack. Claire desperately calls to Dragonair to execute any type of attack that it possibly can. However, the Dragon-type is unable to respond to its trainer, as Charizard darts toward the ground with the Dragon-type in its arm. Milliseconds later, a ground-shattering thud is let through the gym, as Charizard releases Dragonair from its grip into the battlefield, bringing this battle to a close. The Dragon-type lay defeated with spirals in its eyes. Charizard stands above it, letting out a bellow of flames, signifying that it was the strongest Pokemon in this battle. Ash rushes to Charizard, celebrating the win with the Fire Starter, as Claire recalls Dragonair and then presents Ash with the 8th and final gym badge of the Johto region, the Rising Badge. As Ash takes the badge, he is approached by Lance, Vincent, and Drake. They are all congratulating him on a battle well fought. Vincent is especially impressed, as all the preconceived notions he had about this battle were thrown out the window, and Ash proved that he doesn't need Pokemon that have had more battle experience in order to beat a strong trainer. Just the belief in himself and his Pokemon was enough to bring him through, and this is a lesson that Vincent is going to take to heart. However, there's one conversation that's happening between Ash and Lance at this current time. The Pokemon G-Man tells Ash that he's looking forward for his challenge in the Silver Conference, and wins the Victory Road tournament of Johto, he will have a chance to battle the Johto Elite Four. And then at the top, once Ash makes his way through them, Lance will be waiting as Johto's champion for a champion versus champion battle. And this is where we are going to end things for now. So tell me, how did you feel about this part? How did you feel about the gym battle between Claire and Ash? How did you feel about the Pokemon that Ash used in his gym battle against her? And of course, what about this revelation that Lance is the champion of the Johto region? How do you think Ash is going to respond to that? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's all we had for today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch all the way to the end, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. If you guys really enjoy my content, consider following me on some of my other platforms like Discord, where you can get to know other people who are interested in what ifs, or on Twitter, where I post sometimes behind the scenes updates. Or if you want to help the channel grow a little bit extra, why don't you consider donating like the people right here have, as whatever you could offer could help us get to a larger audience by helping us get new videos done, or some of the projects that we more custom art is getting kind of expensive, so we want to make sure that we have the funds to do that. But with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you in the next video.